fuzzies is where it's at. Hey, this is Josh with Bluegrass Defense Solutions. If you're here, this is our first video we've done. We're going to be mostly focusing on some gear reviews and training tips. We are a security consulting and firearms training company out of Central Kentucky. If you're interested in doing any training in this area, you can find the link for the website down in the description. We're going to talk about some Shadow Systems guns today. If you don't know what those are, they're made in Plano, Texas. Some people call it a Glock clone. I think it's kind of a gun of its own. What it is a Gen 4 patent that ran out on the Glock, and Shadow Systems saw an opportunity. They took it and they upgraded a lot of things that Glock could have been doing a long time ago. A lot of things end users would ask for, and they just didn't hear us. So Shadow Systems said, hey, I'll fill that gap. We're not going to do a crazy in-depth review. We're not going to go tip to butt. We're not going to do the grand thumb thing. We are not firearms experts when it comes to gunsmithing or anything like that. We're going to talk about what we like from the shooter's perspective. There are some things about Shadow Systems guns that are just tremendously better than stock Glock guns out of the box. To me, the number one thing that I like is their optic mounting system. It is tremendously better, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. When we're talking about putting any red dot on our duty gun or concealed carry gun, anything you're using to protect life, whether that be your life or somebody else's life, we want it to be solid and know that it's going to hold up under any kind of hard use. So when we're talking about the Shadow Systems mounting stuff, like here you've got these are all screwed directly in to the gun. When you get a Glock cut for an RMR or any kind of other footprint, or if you get the Glock MOS, what you're getting is a screw and a thread that's only that long. So that does not make me feel the extra warm and fuzzies about my optic staying on when it has to go through the entire optic and down into the slide. What Shadow Systems has done is taken the extractor spring and captured it so that it's out of the way. So this is the length of the screw you get with the Shadow Systems. That is going down into the bottom of the slide through the optic, so you know it's going to be rock solid. I've put quite a few rounds through these. The optic hasn't moved. Now, granted, I've not ever had any trouble with the other ones that are on my custom Glock, but I've not shot in any of the Glock MOSs, so I don't know how they hold up. One thing about this one in particular, this is really an MR920L slide on an XR920 frame. It comes out looking like the new Glock 47. This has an acro, an 8-point acro on it, which had to have one of the CWH precision plates. I got this prior to Shadow Systems announcing that they're going to do a cut just for the acro and just for the Holosun 509T. So they even make one specifically for these optics now. You don't have to have a mounting plate. To talk about some of these in particular, to go through the models, they have a ton. This here is an MR920. It's the same size as the Glock 19. This one it's a combat, but it's not optic cut. Then you got an MR920, and this is out of their Foundation series. So it comes with a flat face trigger, it comes with the slide serrations, and it comes with that optic mount that we're talking about, that optic mounting system that gives you such a rock solid mount. They also include shims in there, so if your optic doesn't fit, you can slide it in there and make sure that it's super tight. Any kind of optic you can buy that's an RMR, the Leupold Delta Pro, Vortex, any of those you can buy will fit on these. All the Holosuns, except for the 509T, like I said, which they came out with 1.4. What you're getting with these Shadow Systems guns are better grips. So you have like a stippling from the factory. You're also getting a better trigger. As far as the shape of the trigger, I won't say that the trigger itself shoots better than a Glock, but it for sure feels better because the flat face, for me anyway. You're getting the slide serrations. Now, some Glocks come with slide serrations out of the box. Some of the new ones, they're not tremendously grippy like these are. You can see how deep these cuts are, and like on this DR920, it's extra deep, extra deep. You can get in there and really work this. And then also what you're getting with these are the back straps. What I like about the back straps, the interchangeable back straps of Shadow Systems, is it doesn't just adjust the girth. We always want more girth. But it doesn't just adjust the girth. It can change the grip angle completely. So they came with 3 different ones, a large one that feels more like a Glock out of the box, and then one feels kind of like a SIG, and then one that feels like a 1911. I like to run the smallest one on mine. It has a better presentation when I pull it out of the holster. And it's just a better option that we're getting from Glock. Some of the other things are these ledges here. Some people pay a lot of extra money, like I did, for stippling on a stock Glock to get these ledges, gas pedals, speed ramps, whatever you want to call them. That's coming out of the box with these. One of the things I like a lot better is they'll come with mag wells. Now the Foundation series doesn't always come with mag wells, but you can buy those later for like 20 bucks. The last thing I want to talk about is the price point. I'm seeing a lot of new shooters go to the store, pick up a stock Glock, and then immediately send it out to get worked on. They're spending a minimum of $550 on the gun, and then probably doing another $1,000 in work to it. This one here, this is mine, Glock 19 I've had forever, with the slide cut, the stippling, mag well, everything that was done to it aftermarket. I've probably got $1,500 in this gun. And this is stuff I had to do to it myself, had to send it off to get done. With the Shadow Systems, you're getting that stuff out of the box. If your intention is just to go to the store and buy a gun for home defense, and you don't care about what it looks like, how it functions other than it just goes bang when you hit the trigger, then a stock Glock is fine. But what we're seeing is people want to get into shooting, recreational shooting, and they want to upgrade their guns. If you'll buy one of these, you won't have to do many other upgrades to it. About the only thing I would change on the Shadow Systems is the mag release. We really like the, let's see if this one has it. Yeah, the Cogworks extended slide release, so that it doesn't get in the way. You don't ride it too much and keep it from locking up when it goes empty. So that's like the only thing I would change. Other than that, these things are fantastic. The Elite series have the slide cuts on top. Those are coming with night sights. So an actual night sight up front and a blacked out rear. The Foundation series still come with night sights as well. So that's, again, another probably, what do you spend on night sights? 120 bucks aftermarket. So you're getting those on there. These price points for the Shadow Systems Foundation series is like $649, maybe $679. That's a tremendous bargain to me when you're going to spend 550 bucks on a Glock out of the box and have to upgrade the sights immediately, and then other parts of it that are going to cost you a fortune. You can get that all out of the box with these. The Elite series, like some of these, this is the MR920L that have all the cuts. Those are running closer to $900 to $1,000. But again, if you're going to spend that kind of money upgrading it anyway, just have it done from the factory. The only thing, I mean, if you look at this stock Glock, there's no serrations on it. Now the new ones do have serrations on them, but this is an older Gen 4, I think. It's just not offering the same things out of the box that the Shadow Systems are. So if you're going to spend the money on upgrading your Glock anyway, because you got to have the Gucciest of the Gucci, why not just go with something like this that's going to allow you to spend less money on aftermarket parts. So on these Shadow Systems Foundation guns, we're actually testing these with the law enforcement agency that I'm with. I have shot, well, I've been in law enforcement for 12 years, so shooting handguns is primarily what I've done. I've had a handgun on me every day since 12 years ago. You can contact them and they will send you some T&E guns. I believe that these are way better in price. I don't want to say what the law enforcement price on them is. You have to contact them to ask, but it is tremendously better than buying a Glock, and you're getting these things aftermarket. Like I said, to me, the biggest thing I think Shadow Systems is ahead of the curve on is their optic mounting system because of the thread depth. It makes me feel so much more confident that I'm not going to loosen my optic or lose an optic or something of that nature, because you can be kind of hard on these things, especially if you're using them for duty use, racking them off of holsters and just carrying around, banging them and getting in and out of your cruiser and shit like that. So I think that these Shadow Systems offer us a much better optic mounting solution. But we like these guns. Jake's been carrying one for probably a year now. I carried one before that without an optic on it. Daniel's been rocking his for a couple months now and likes it. How long you had yours?
Probably about 4 or 5 months.
4 or 5 months, and they say there's a 200 round break-in period. I have never had any malfunctions out of mine personally. Sometimes the tolerances on the barrel and slide are a little tight, so when you're just, if you kind of baby your slide and put one in the chamber, it won't go in the battery. But if you do what you're supposed to and just put one in like that, you won't have any problems. So I'm thoroughly impressed with these for Glock style guns. I'm not going to say they're the best gun out there on the market. There are too many options out there now. M&P makes great ones. A lot of people love SIGs. If you got the money to go with staccato, go with staccato. But I think for the money, these are Strata-Simpson's putting out the best out of the box gun if you're looking for that style polymer gun, in my opinion. Anyway, if anybody has any questions, just put them in the comments, debate down there, tell us how wrong we are. I usually am wrong. My wife tells me constantly. So if you have something to say to me, like say it down there in the comments to my face, and we'll get a debate going about it. Other than that, thanks guys. Stay safe and do the Lord's work.
Well,